The insect world is home to some of the planet's fiercest battles. The stakes are high. Home, young, and food sources are under constant threat for European honeybees. They live in colonies that are often over 30,000 strong, constructing hives filled with wax, pollen, larvae, and of course, honey. A pretty valuable bounty for an invading army. When a honeybee hive faces off with Asian giant hornets, it takes just one recon mission to start a war. When a single hornet scout spots a beehive, she marks it with a pheromone and then returns with a hit squad. These giants are the world's largest hornet, 5 times the size of the average honeybee. And they're armed with a deadly venom. Their sting feels like a hot nail being driven into your flesh. Thousands of defenders pour from the hive, ready to give their lives in its defense. But these European honeybees have no way to stop the onslaught. A single hornet can kill as many as 40 bees a minute. Just 30 of them can annihilate a colony of 30,000 bees in a few hours. It isn't a battle. It's a massacre. The ground is thick with the remnants of their victims. And the enemy penetrates into the inner sanctum of the hive. With the hive's defenders laid to waste, the hornets gorge themselves on the spoils of war. But honey isn't the main prize. Instead, they carry away the honeybee larvae and pupae, which will feed their young for weeks. European honeybees may fight valiantly, but they haven't evolved any defenses against these giant invaders. But Japanese honeybees have come up with a tactic to take on these deadly intruders. It involves training and teamwork. An offensive attack aimed at a single hornet scout. They have to ambush her before she releases any pheromones. If the hornet manages to signal her army, the game is up. The bees wiggle their abdomens, a dance that signals their battle plan to the hive. They lure the interloper in, and then they swarm. Their jaws and stings are no match for the huge hornet, so instead the swarm turns up the heat. Hundreds of bees begin to vibrate so fast that they increase the temperature to 47 degrees Celsius, a temperature the hornet can't withstand. They roast the scout alive. And the secret location of the hive dies with her. Bees aren't the only insects plagued by giant hornets. Even the praying mantis can fall victim to this heavily armed predator. And the mantis is hardly defenseless. It can turn its head 180 degrees, using its 5 eyes for reconnaissance. Its powerful front legs are used to seize prey and clutch their victims in a vice-like grip. Spikes instantly spear the prey, pinning it in place. But the hornet is a killing machine. She's armed with much more than a lethal sting. Her compound eyes can see the slightest movement. Sharp tarsal claws seize and hold her victims. And with just one slice, her powerful mandibles decapitate prey. The hornet takes the offensive, ripping apart the mantis's wings and flesh. The mantis tries to bite back, but it's too late. With deadly surgical precision, the hornet butchers her victim, ripping it to shreds. But before she can declare victory, she has one final and brutal move: decapitation. She chews the mantis's flesh into a pulp and carries it home to the nest. A 5-star dinner for her hungry larvae.